Hey everyone. So tonight I thought I would come on here. I did write a full list of games these are games that are freebie games for the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Switch, the regular Switch, the original Nintendo Switch. And when I say free, meaning that you don't need the passes to play these. These are all free games. So obviously not paying any extra money for, PS, PlayStation Plus, or the online membership on the Nintendo eShop, or getting the Xbox Pass for Xbox. So without further ado, this is a long list. I circled the ones that I do know you do not need any kind of pass for, um, and that are available for all consoles. So we've got quite the variety, and I categorized them between genres. But we'll start with the ones that you can get for free with all the consoles, so PS4, Xbox, and Switch. But for the racing category, we have Disney Racing Speedstorm. So this is basically, so think of Mario Kart, or what is it? They had one for like Nickelodeon characters, but they have a Mario Kart based racing game but with Disney characters. It's free for the PS4, the Xbox, and the Switch. And what's really good about the game, it's cross-gen multiplayer, meaning that if you've got an Xbox and your friends have a Switch and PS4, you can still play minus having different consoles. So, but it's called Disney Speedstorm. But it says you can unlock different skills for your racers. You can choose characters from Monsters Inc., the Disney princesses, um, but think of Mario Kart, or like the Shrek Kart game on the GameCube, but with Disney characters. Next up, we have another racing game that is also available for all three consoles, and that is Rocket League. Now, Rocket League ties a lot. I would say it's a racing game, but it's more of an arena based car game that involves race cars doing soccer. Meaning that the cars have to push the soccer ball into the opposing nets. And that is also for PS4, Switch, and Xbox. But some of the other racing games I have on here are all very unique, but involved. So when I say they're more of like vehicle royale games, but the three that came to mind were War Tanks. So that's a game about a royale with tanks, meaning that you get to customize your tank, military tank. And then there's one called Warship, where you're basically controlling a ship. You can customize or buy different ships. And then there's a game that I played on the PS4 that's actually still there to this day, and that is War Thunder. Now, War Thunder is another online multiplayer game that features airplanes, so it's more of aerial, a royale with planes and jets. There's the Gran Turismo simulator, which is like a driving simulator. You go, bring out and summon different cars. Um, and for the Switch, they have a free game called Asphalt Legends Unite. But our next category, so I separated combat shooters because combat shooters to me are more of like looters. I would say open world, certain elements like linear open world environment, or like I would say linear exploration, not so much open world, but combat and shooting games here that I circled that so one of them is Foam Masters. So this one was very unique. But you're in like this bubble universe, but your guns, instead of shooting bullets, they shoot different colored bubbles. It's literally like a battle royale that is a spin-off off of those who play the Splatoon games or had played the Splatoon games on the Switch. Um, and of course, we have Destiny 2, which is another combat. I will say Destiny, I have Destiny 2 in physical copy. Um, Destiny, so they say Destiny 2 is way better than the first game. I have not played the second game yet. It is free on PS4 and Xbox. Um, but as I said, Destiny is a game that is very well. As I said, it's a game where you can either play solo, or the thing is, like, when you're playing like a shooter, sometimes people just want to play solo and not having to worry about getting killed right away by other players. And for me, those are like really good times where you can kind of like test out the skills and shoot your weapon if you wanted to, and look at. But Destiny's a great series. Actually, there's only two games now, but a game that I feel like is a close second to Destiny is Apex Legends. But actually, Apex Legends is another game you can get for all three consoles, and it is free. So our next game is Apex Legends. Um, but Apex Legends is I have not played. I have played Apex Legends. That is a lie. Or at least I wasn't honest about that. I have played it. It was short lived though. I still haven't played the sequel to Destiny 2, but people state of how better Destiny 2 is from the first game. Sometimes it's the sequel that's better than the first game, but many people have like those opposite opinions. It's by what you know through games than what you look at. Um, Next up, we have Brawlhalla. Now, Brawlhalla is I consider it a free game, unlike Super. It's similar to Super Smash Bros. If you're looking for a game that you don't have to invest $60 in or $50 in, Brawlhalla is that game for you. But it plays a lot like Super Smash Bros. Um, it features characters. Well, you can get add-on characters featuring the Ninja Turtles, Master Chief from Halo, the Undertaker. But that game is available for PS4, Switch, and I would think Xbox would have that one as well. So there's two here that I'm not sure that I did not see mentioned in the Switch or Xbox store. One of them is called The Finals, which is it's like a Warzone Call of Duty game, but the Finals is a game where like the environment you destroy your enemies, the environment can collapse with you, or you can use the environment to collapse the enemies. Meaning that if like a building falls, you know, evacuate, or if you don't, but it's more of a like a war zone, get in, get out, destroy buildings while you're at it. It's the wrecking crew of Warzone, the first person shooter wrecking crew of Warzone. Next up, we have a game called Valorant. Now, Valorant is definitely a game that uses skill and a lot of strategy to get really good at it. It is a first person shooter. It's definitely more in the fantasy realm. It is definitely a lot of people compare it with Overwatch, which Overwatch is on this list. Overwatch 2, that is. There is, however, two games that I believe are going to be released as free. One of them is Rainbow Six Siege, and the other one is Splitgate 2. Both of those games I've heard are going to be free. I don't know if they already are and what consoles are going to hit. Um, but we'll know soon. Maybe now. I don't know. Um, we have Overwatch 2. Now, Overwatch is a game that I keep hearing people nonstop talk about. It's one of the best games I've heard as far as like any fictional epic first person shooter. Overwatch is like a game that always comes to people's minds. But Overwatch 2 is free, and they released like a war zone for that game. So I'm not sure if they're referring to having the base game and all the content free, or if it's another mode they installed, or at least another online based game that involves more of a war zone like they did with Call of Duty. If it's something completely separate. Next up, we have the game called First Descendant. That one looked really cool, but you're playing as an alien hunter that you're hunting aliens. It is a first person shooter. Um, it definitely reminds me of a bit of like Warframe, about some of the games we were talking about now. Um, and it's for Xbox and PS4. Next up, of course, we've got Call of Duty Warzone, another game people talk about a lot, which is available for PS4 and Xbox. So I also added a game. I don't know if the game is still there. I would think it would be, but we have PUBG. Now, PUBG surprisingly wasn't even on any of the lists I looked at. So I don't know if that game is slowly decreasing in popularity, but PUBG was literally like a spin-off with Fortnite. Um so again, and I PUBG, and you can get PUBG, you can get Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone all on your mobile devices as well. You can play them through your phone or your tablet. PUBG was also another game you could have, download on your tablet or phone. So a lot of these games also you can play digital, like you can play through your mobile devices as well. We next up we have Arcade Eden, which is a battle royale game again. You play as, I think you get to choose like one out of the four characters. You're in like this arcade world. You use these really unique weapons, environments that would fit art. You're saving the arcade world of dying. So it's a royale in the fact of saving all humanity, or all arcades from humanity, which is very interesting. Um, so our next game is Roblox. Now, Roblox is one big franchise with a crap ton of games. So really, each game has its own objectives, has its own mechanics. So Roblox is just really like what it's called. That's the name of the but like Roblox is built into a crap ton of games of what people make and stuff like that. Next up we have Marvel Rivals, which Marvel Rivals is on the newer consoles, but thanks to the company and the fact that they actually have it now on older consoles like the PS4 and Xbox One. It is free. Unfortunately, I looked up to see if they had it for the Switch. It sounds like this game is too big to be on the Switch because of how massive of a game it is. So unfortunately for the Switch fans or Nintendo fans out there, Marvel Rivals unfortunately is not going to be on the Switch, but if you're looking for a really good Marvel game that is an RPG, but it still is, I would say get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That is for Switch, and I have that digitally on my Switch, but it's one of the best Marvel games. I would say when they released that, I was hyped. And I would say the three DLCs going with that game, I feel like made the roster more expanded, made all the modes of the game expand. But because I mean, there's the story, and then there's like different gauntlets you can go through and get like different costumes for your characters, or get crystals to amplify your characters as well, give them bonuses. But Ultimate Alliance 3, I would say, is the best Marvel game to date on Switch. But it's called Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 The Black Order. Of course, we have Fortnite. Fortnite is on every console and mobile, as I said, and even PC. So that game is everywhere. And I mean, as I said, I mean, Fortnite is, as far as any game goes, that's like, also you can play it cross play platform, meaning that you can play this game if somebody has a Switch, you're on the PS4. It's a cross gen game. But as I said, Fortnite is a game that I mean, those who are really serious, that are into it, like to invest in that game. But Fortnite has their own, what is it, gift cards. They call them V-Bucks, where it's a gift card and you redeem them. You can redeem them and it will give you a certain amount of V-Bucks. And those V-Bucks are used in game to buy skins, weapons, emotes for characters. But the thing is, I've given Fortnite multiple chances. Did I enjoy playing it? I did, but I really enjoyed playing it. Obviously either solo. I mean, my significant other and I played it a couple times over a Google Meet. Her I would say her and I had a great time on that game. I mean, because there's things you can do that are gonna make the person you play with and laugh extremely hard, like whether it's murdering trees with your pickaxe, or not knowing where the trigger button is on the controller, but you happen, instead of firing a gun, you throw a grenade, and you're trying to hit the enemy that's attacking the opposing person, and you blow up their fence in the process. But hey, or if you're doing some weird ass dancing in the lobby, I mean, Fortnite is a very silly game, and the controls, I will say, sometimes people, I mean, there's controls in games I have to learn. um but we do have some strategy games on this list. So we have, those of you that love card games, there is a and that love Yu-Gi-Oh, There's a free strategy game for Switch and PS4 called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It is a strategy card game on a console. Um, I personally like playing card games physically, not through a console, but those of you that have different preferences, that is an option for a game that involves cards that you can play on a console as well instead of the handheld cards. Um, Next up we have Switchfall. Now Switchfall is a bit of a different game. It's like going through your time. I mean, you can do like timed missions, but the thing is, you're playing as these like swarm of alien creatures. You're trying to get through these like different levels of like certain platforms, and your goal is going beginning to end without falling. It sounds complicated, but each level I think gets increasingly harder. So it definitely is more of like a focus game. I feel like it's a game that you would use your focus and your full attention. And then we have a so I would actually categorize this as a strategy and RPG game, but it's called Pokemon Unite. Now instead of playing as the trainers, you play as the Pokemon, and you are basically, I mean, you're either claiming you're claiming either a zone, you're fighting off your opponents, but you can choose your Pokemon you want to use. There's really good Pokemon in the game. I've tried it a couple times. I didn't get super into it. I didn't like the fact that there, you were timed, but like it just, for me, I didn't spend a lot of time with that game. Um, but again, it's similar, to like if you don't want to spend a serious amount of money on like a Super Mario or Super Smash Bros game, but you still want to have like that kind of game. Like for example, if you don't want to invest in a Pokemon game or like buy like a $60 Pokemon game, Pokemon Unite would be a free option. And then they have one that's called Pokemon Quest, which is basically Minecraft but with Pokemon. So think about it as a Pokemon world but with bricks. Brick based Pokemon and the trainer as well. Um Next up our next category is action and adventure. And I put OW for open world. But these are games that more have like a really almost like a full journey to them, like about exploration, hidden areas. So a lot of these games I feel like carry those elements. Um, so the ones we have listed here are Infinity Nikki, which is it's it's a very unique game that I saw, but it's you're playing as an anime character. and you're exploring the many, what is it, you're journeying as her, going through like fields, and it's a game based off of journey and really exploration. So I don't know much about it, but it definitely is a straight up adventure game. Next up we have Jensen Impact, which is a full on open world game. You can switch your characters. You can battle creatures. But that is a full on open world game, and it's free for Xbox and PS4. That is also an anime game. I've played Jensen Impact, and it's a great game. But I personally don't think I'm the only one that thinks about this. But I feel like Jensen Impact. I mean, I'm surprised it's even a free game, because I would think a game like that would be like a $60 game. Especially having elements of, it reminds me of like the Dragon Quest games, if any of you have played those kind of games, in like One Punch, what is it? One Piece. Um so our next game we have, this is a game I mean, this is a game I played back in my freshman year of high school with a friend of mine from high school. But he would gather friends he met online and play this game. But it's a game I stopped playing because like there were games out there that I wanted to have in my physical collection. So I did take a lot of my energy away from this game, but now that I still know it's out, and it's never, I don't think, hopefully it's not gonna like disappear, but that game is Warframe. Now, this game is, for me, you can play single player, you can choose to explore, I mean, the fact that you can even customize your character, create your class, choose your weapon right off the bat. No tutorial baloney or anything like that. You go straight into that customization aspect of the game. And then as your character goes along with the quests, the more you can grow your character and really enhance them, collect different weapons, collect loot and stuff like that, really awesome weapons. So I plan to get Warframe probably soon, probably tomorrow. The game is just awesome. But if I had to describe Warframe as, compared to other, I would say Warframe is the offspring of, I feel like, if Destiny, Apex Legends, Doom Eternal, Mass Effect, um let's see, there was another one, Diablo, Wolfenstein, like all of those sci-fi based games had a baby. Warframe would be their offspring. And I would say even elements of Zelda, of like, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like Warframe is one of the best games. It's free. Um and it's honestly it's still growing to this day. And I'm very surprised that it's not like I mean, it's one of the top free games that gets a lot of attention, but not I feel like not enough as far as like cuz right now Fortnite is one of the biggest games out there now cuz of like what they add to the game. Warframe has it's more of like I would say it's a sci-fi game. I feel like it even has elements of like RoboCop as well. And like what is it? What is that game? Shoot. Metal Gear Solid. I feel like there's many of those elements Warframe has with all really great games we've gotten that involve fiction, sci-fi. I can't think of a better free game that's on fiction that's related to sci-fi. But all I hear from people is Fortnite. And I'm not saying Fortnite is a bad game, but this game is getting way more put into the game than other games, I feel like. For me, the exception of Fortnite is like really if you want to invest or if you even wanted to get like a couple skins in the game, you better get the ones that you want, the ones that you've been wanting to get, or that you can't live without. I wouldn't say want, but can't live without. Because I know for me, if I pick up that game again, what is it? Ben 10 is doing a collab with them. I don't know when that is going to be. But I've heard that is official news. So if I end up getting the game again or re-downloading it, it's really gonna go by based my childhood. But there's a lot of good Marvel skins in that game too. But you can't tell me exactly what do you like better, Ben 10 or Marvel. I've had a long history with both, and I didn't start my Marvel phase until later in life, so Ben 10 was definitely early stages rather than later stages. So, unfortunately, I would have to say Ben 10 beats Marvel by, I wouldn't say by much, but just by being a kid at heart. And I know probably many of you are surprised to hear me even state that. But again, we often think about Ben 10 as like, a cartoon that's like the original was better than the rebooted. I agree, but I definitely agree, but I feel like I could say the same thing about Bakugan as well. Like I loved Battle Brawlers, but I feel like when Battle Planet came, I got more in, I mean, I hate to say it, I got a lot in the Battle Planet, which was the second, what is it, like second installment of Bakugan. So it's hard to choose. But I would say for me, when Ben 10 really went downhill, it was like after the events of Omniverse. I'm like, I gotta stop watching this. Cause then they redid the whole original series. And I just, and the animation was really bad too, so. Because I know the rebooted Ben 10, they suited that mainly for younger audiences. You know, probably, obviously, children, because they started that whole franchise over for children, that are I mean, I would say if you want your children to look at Ben 10 more back then than now, definitely introduce them to the original series. I would say encourage that. But I feel like that right there in that era, Tara Strong was at her strongest. I mean, it's in her last name because she voiced Ben in the old and new original series. But unfortunately, I wouldn't say I'm cursed out of Fortnite, but if like Fortnite really wants to hit somebody who's a fan of a collaboration, they've already hit me like very hard with Ben 10. So, will I reconsider downloading Fortnite? There's a good chance that I will. It may not be right now, but I definitely, so actually I want to know the release date for that. Fortnite Ben 10. Oops. But I actually want to see what exactly. But the thing is, Fortnite's collabed with a bunch of different franchises. Was it Transformers, Marvel, even adding band, what is it, band members? Like they have the whole Metallica group as playable characters, and they also have the brick, the Lego, um, what is it, play mode or whatever, or world in the game. Ben 10 collab. But anyways, guys, I am going to get off, but that is my freebie list of games you can play free on your consoles, Xbox, Switch, and PS4. And mobile on, and if you play on a tablet or phone, a lot of these games are available there, your PC. But thank you all for watching, and have a great night.